the media is a very funny animal.
Yes, it is.
And it's always interesting on what the media reports and what they don't report.
Mm-hmm.
There was a woman within the Hillary Clinton campaign that actually, in Texas, a Mexican lady, an activist, that said that she refused to vote for Barack Obama because he was black.
Mm-hmm.
That issue actually was kind of kept quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was posed to Hillary Clinton, and she didn't even respond to it. She kind of danced around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on issued an apology saying that she denounced it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't that interesting, especially since in the last debate, when the question of Minister Farrakhan came up, there all of a sudden needed to be a denouncement of Minister Farrakhan.
Right. Well, I think that whenever you have a black candidate, you know, mm-hmm. and the candidates in this historical election such as this, they're going to have some double standards. Mm. And I think that, you know, with Hillary Clinton, she is a part of the old regime, you know, and she is definitely, she has a lot of lobbyists and a lot of people protecting her and protecting her interests, because they're a part of the old era, you mm-hmm. know. And, you know, not only does Barack have a lot of, I guess, untraditional ideas, in which, at least the way he approaches things, mm-hmm. but he's also a black man. Okay. So we're also looking at a few things that is going up against him right away that we're going to have to be protected against. And I think the whole Louis Farrakhan incident, I was watching Karl Rove today, mm-hmm. and, you know, Barack specifically said, I denounce, not only did he denounce his statements, but he said, I denounce Louis Farrakhan and the things that he said. But Karl Rove, for some reason or another, said that that's not enough. Mm-hmm. It's not enough for him to just only say that. He should have said stronger. And then then Karl Rove lays out this huge, elaborate statement of what he should have said. Mm-hmm. And I really don't think that no matter what Barack would have said in that instance, it would have been enough.
I thought Barack Obama was a candidate, not a robot or a puppet.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, you know, he's not George Bush, which Karl Rove used his intelligence to put Bush into office or whatever. Right. By the things that he told him to say. So, I mean, the thing I find very interesting about that is that now you have the media jumping on any little thing. We had the Michelle Obama incident with mm-hmm. what she said, and now denouncing Louis Farrakhan and stuff mm-hmm. to separate him from this quote-unquote black separatists or whatever. And now this whole idea with Bill Cunningham and at McCain's rally that just happened not too long ago. Well, this conservative right-wing radio show host.
I think that it just goes back to the old age that, you know, I was a trader on Wall Street. It mm-hmm. was 3 black traders out of 300 traders mm-hmm. on the floor. And we were scrutinized more heavily than anybody else on the floor. Mm-hmm. They'll attack Hillary because of her issues and the issues that they may or may not agree with. But all of a sudden you'll see a picture from Barack Obama that becomes a huge issue, that everybody else had dressed it in traditional garb. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden now you'll see people like Cunningham coming across and saying, you know, Barack Hussein Obama, and he'll say it repeatedly. And they'll attack him because of his name, and they'll really just break him down. And it's almost, you know, if you try to be optimistic about it, it's almost flattering in such a way that they can't really find out anything other than these small, minute issues to try to pick apart. It's just a sad thing. It has to be the race card that they have to play.
You know, the thing I find interesting about it, Ryan, is I think that we got away from the issue.
Yeah.
If Karl Rove wants to talk about what should have been said, why is he not telling President Bush that he should be more proactive about what's going on with the economy? Mm-hmm. Something that's more important than talking about Hussein or mm-hmm. denouncing Farrakhan.
Right.
What does Farrakhan have to do with people keeping their jobs or being able to provide food or clothing on their children's back? That's mm-hmm. the most important thing, wouldn't you say?
You're right. And you know what?
Issues.
And I got to say, I love the way Barack handled it. He mm-hmm. handled it with a lot of class, and, you know, Hillary Clinton even tried to jump on him saying, you should reject it. He said, well, you know what? I concede the point. I'll reject and denounce. And he even made a little smile, almost mocking her. Mm-hmm. And I really do think that no matter if Karl Rove and Cunningham and then Rush Limbaugh comes and says, you know what? You know, everybody has 3 names, first and middle and last name. How come they can't say that? And we all know. Let's just be very candid about it. We all know that what Cunningham was doing, you know, pull the bark off the tree. Mm-hmm. The flake or whatever you call them, you know, mm-hmm. So we all understand that that's where he was going with it. And we all understand that that's the way the Republicans play the game. Of course, they're going to be perfect, and they didn't do anything wrong.
So do you think it was a strategy? Do you think this was a mistake? You see, the thing I say is that these people are not stupid. McCain has been in the campaign before. And the thing that I want to remind McCain and his people about, remember what George Bush did to you when they started talking about that illegitimate child he had in South Carolina, and they talked about him like crazy and denounced him and stuff. Why would you want to engage in the same type of negative politics?
Right. Well, I do think that it was, I don't know if it was calculated by McCain himself. I'm not sure, I'm certain on that aspect, but I do think it was a very calculated move to put it out there, to start putting small tidbits of things out there to make individuals say, I'm a little bit scared now. Maybe his father was a Muslim, or I'm a little bit upset that now Barack Obama is an undercover Muslim, and I'm a little bit scared that he's actually some spy or coming in and trying to infiltrate the American regime. And when they really do, maybe he might have been right. Maybe just to be on the safe side, we might as well vote for McCain. And I do think it was a good strategy. The positive thing that we have working for, and that's one thing I really do believe, that Hillary Clinton, if she's smart, she's understanding that now, and I think that's why she's even backing off now. She's not attacking as hard. She threw everything but the kitchen sink, but I think after the 4th, she'll back off even further.
Should she be more vocal about saying something about these negative attacks on Barack?
She definitely should, because for the most part, if she does happen to lose, which it does look like Barack Obama will be the candidate for the Democratic primaries, if Barack Obama is representing the party, then we don't want to have anything that's out there that's going to tear down the Democratic candidate. And I think that it's Hillary Clinton's responsibility to say, look, we need to stop these games. Let me tell you what, and let me, as somebody who's outside and even against Barack Obama, say, this is why I feel that these comments are wrong, and this is why I denounce these comments, to get the American people to say, okay, we know what, if Hillary Clinton is speaking out against the comments that Karl Rove and Rush Limbaugh and Cunningham and all these other individuals who are putting those things out that happily McCain can't say, because he's a front runner. If he says those things, his campaign is ruined. But everybody else can, which gets everybody else scared. Hillary should say something.
And that's exactly the point that people have to be careful about. Some of these people are attack dogs. They're hard to do that. Yep. I don't believe that it was a mistake. I think that everybody knew what Cunningham was going to do there. It was calculated. They knew media was going to be there. It wasn't any accident that they did it. And the idea is to colorize Barack Obama. Now, the thing is, though, what does that mean to the white electorate? It's like, I think the problem is they're trying to use this whole quote-unquote 9/11 syndrome to kind of attack people's intelligence, or insult people's intelligence, to think that since his middle name is Hussein, like Saddam Hussein. First of all, Saddam Hussein had absolutely nothing to do with 9/11.
Right.
Let's correct it. Just like Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11.